afternoon, everyone. This is Rob. Welcome to this edition of Power Hour. I hope you're all having a fantastic day. Let's go ahead and make sure you all can hear me. If you would please type in the number 1 in the chat box to let me know that you can, I would greatly appreciate it. Hey, Roby, how you doing, my friend? All right. Hey, Trip, Paula, Eric, how you doing? Paula, both of you. Roby, it was good catching up with you there not long ago. All right. Hey, Charles, how you doing? Very cool. All right. So as we get started here today, keep in mind that everything we look at is for educational purposes only. Nothing is meant to be advice or recommendations. If you like a strategy, a candidate, something you see, just make sure it fits your own personal risk profile and risk tolerance. And as we go through, folks, we've got a ton of stuff coming up. We've got Inner Circle Check-In, which is tonight. That's 7 p.m. Mastermind is tomorrow. Trading You is on Wednesday. I've got a nice announcement in Trading You on Wednesday we're going to bring up. You guys will hear it there. We got a couple more for next week. Power Hour, of course, here we are today. Trading Coaches Playbook. They are our bookends, start to finish, right? Next week on the 9th. It is next week, right? Yeah, this one only goes to the 7th. Oh, you know what? I'm looking at April's calendar. I'm like, why didn't that look right? May 9th, which is still going to be next week, is Patterns Today. And then Protect, Preserve, and Win in Uncertain Times. Dale has one more coming up in May. Pop, Covered Call, E-mini, Vegas Spreads, all on the regular schedule. And make sure you're following along with all of the various content that we put out there. Go over to YouTube, subscribe, ring the bell. Whichever platform is the one that you use the most, that's where you want to focus. I can tell you for us, the biggest place that we put things out on is YouTube, right? That's the one that we chose, the horse we're going to ride, right? But go ahead and check out Trading Like a Boss, which is where all of our free content lives up there. All right. Woo! The Trading Boss Manifesto. So this is what it means to be a trading boss. You hear me use phrases all the time. You just want to trade away. We have tradinglikeaboss.com, right? So this is what it represents to me, to the company, to be a trading boss. And you can download this manifesto right off of our homepage. You can also download it right off of robertjroy.com as well. And, you know, my team goes through this regularly. They read it. I read it out loud every single day because it's what you focus on are the things where you tend to move. That's where your body, your mind, your being tends to go. If you focus on fishing and that's all you did, you may not be the world's greatest fisherman or fishing person in the world, but you're going to get really good because that's all you're focusing on, right? I mean, I can tell you as an example, Tiger Woods would chip 100 balls. He had to get 100 in on his chip, on that hit, right? He had to get 100 in before he would walk away. It could take an hour, it could take 4. He didn't stop until he got 100 balls in the hole, right? It's no different here. It's trading. It's doing it over and over again. This, by reading it again and again, you're going to ingrain in your mind what it is to become a great trader. Let's see. All right, good. Okay. Come on, baby. All right, so Patterns Today. Guys, you know, many of you know who Tony is. Some of you do not, right? Tony is known as the Pattern Whisperer, and he is just that, man. He rocks it when it comes to patterns. We did our Inner Circle training, which we do our core training once a quarter. It's a full day. We do a half day on Friday, half day on Saturday. Tony jumped in and taught on Saturday, and he rocked, man. He started going through patterns and just whipping them off. Boom, boom, boom. Well, I see this and I see that, and this is doing this and this is doing that. Take advantage of him showing you how to spot those patterns on the charts and go ahead and register for that. Lee dropped that link in the chat box. So you can go ahead and click on that and just get enrolled for that free training. All right, we're not going to do that just yet. So what trades did you guys do? Drop them in. I want to see the trades that y'all took in the market. Drop them in. I'd love to see what you did today. If you didn't do today and you did some on Friday, drop those in as well. That's okay. Funded, non-funded, doesn't matter. Went against you, went in your direction, broke even, doesn't matter. This is about accountability and doing it again and again, right? And in the next couple of weeks, you're going to start to see me harping more on dropping the trades in. And here's why. And I understand not everybody has the opportunity. Some of you are here at lunchtime and you're working and you don't have that opportunity, but maybe you placed some covered call trades on Thursday or Friday or Tuesday, even whatever. Drop those trades in, right? Because bottom line is this, folks. This is the year that I have committed, that I've made my team commit, that we have X, and I'm not going to share what X is, but X number of individuals that we will help become successful this year, right? I want you to be one of them, but if you're not hitting enter, it can't get there. So I'm going to push and harp and give you grief for where are your trades, drop them in. Even if they're non-funded, it doesn't matter. Drop the trades in, all right? If you did it, drop it. Oh, Charles, my friend, you and I are on the same page. I like it. I like it, Charles. Very cool. Let's see. Brendan said no trades yet. An appointment this morning. And listen, that's okay. Mondays are tough days for me. I don't get a lot of time in the market at times on a Monday. So Mondays are very hard for me on certain days to get near the market at all. I'll get a couple of trades off early, maybe one or two, and then I'm done, right? But that's why we do what we do, so we can do what we do, right? So, or do what we want to or need to do. So let's see. Roby said I did a cash secured puts on KOLD for $62 and got 68 cents. Good job, Roby. Nice job. Charles put in United Healthcare, UNH, 4 contracts, $2 each profit, right? So if he did 4 contracts, each contract is 100 shares, and he made $2 per contract, per share. It means for 1 contract, he made $200. For 4 contracts, he made $800. That's a good day's pay for anybody out there to pick up an extra $800, right? Great job. And Charles, watch. So we go over to this 5-minute chart. Let's go over to United Healthcare. Actually, let me do this. Let me bring it back in first. Let's make it where it is all makes sense. It's all equal. Okay. So you can see the entire fib that we've got drawn in here. Let me grab a pen. Hold on. I'm afraid that may mess something up there. Assuming my camera is still working. Guys, you still see me on camera? Hope I didn't knock it out. No? Okay. So when I started up my recording software, just so I can get a pen, it threw me off. There we go. Okay, I'm back. Okay. So here's our fib on United Healthcare. Right, there's the fib. Start to finish. Okay, start to finish. Now, we've had lots of opportunities throughout the course of the last 3 or 4 months since that fib set in. We had an amazing move to the upside, a really nice pullback and a bounce. We closed on Friday right below that 429.81. Just there. Right? Actually, let me try to keep my desk clean. That's not how it normally looks when I teach. But this is my tracking sheet from last week. United Healthcare, we had it down as a day trade. Their earnings were coming up in July. So nothing to worry about there, but we had it down as a day trade, right? Well, we gapped up above that 429.81. We pulled back and we bounced off of that level. Guys, that was the opportunity to take the bullish entry, was the bounce off of there. My stop would be down below the low of the day, which takes me right down below my 55 EMA, right? So right there, spot on, exact, perfect setup for me on this entry, on this trade, right? If we go over and let me jot down that fib line. Well, actually, let's just do it here. This has become a kind of an easy way for me to do this now. So I've got my real-time charts up on it. My fib lines and omega charts will automatically transfer over. I wish this did this on TradeStation. If I draw a fib on a daily chart and I go to a 5-minute, gone. You don't see it any longer. The fib lines are not there. Here, all my fib lines remain, which they should. I'm fairly sure TOS does that as well. So, Lee, am I back on camera now? I see me. Yes? Okay, good. I appreciate it. Thank you. So look at this wick right in here, folks. Third candle of the day, the 15-minute candle, right? The third one of the day. We stretched right back to that fib line, which was 492.81. And we bounced. And that bounce on a 1-minute candle was the entry. And Charles said, so your voice kept coming into play. Wait for the pullback. Thanks. You are welcome, my friend. That's exactly what it is. Folks, this isn't hard stuff. It's not. Really, it isn't. Right? It is a pattern that we only duplicate that pattern. Guess what? 20 stocks today. Just one did that pattern today. Guess what? You know how many trades I did today? Just one. That's it. Because that's the structure I'm looking for. I am not going to say, well, it came close enough. That close enough ain't good, right? I want the pattern to work. It needs to be highly reliable, highly predictable, and highly repeatable. If it is, you've got to win it. If it isn't, pass. Next. Nada. Whatever you want to use, whatever word, whatever. Right? Walk away from it or wait for the setup to happen. Wait for it to happen. Don't trade it if it's not right. Jim said last Thursday and Friday I bought SPX weeklies early in the day. Thursday averaged 230%. Oh, nice. Oh, I got to get a thingy with the thing with the hammer and stuff from here. $9,878 profit for the day. Woo! Nice. Today in 3 SPX calls. Oops, sorry, it's moving there. Let me go back and see it. Average around 25% up now. Profit so far $2,210. Already had other calls that I closed out today for profit. Only one trade went against me, and I got out with a small loss. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Excellent. Excellent. Yep. Jennifer said impressive. Brenda, my mother-in-law will find more out today. Hopefully she's going to see a doctor. My brother-in-law is picking her up in a little while and bringing her there. So we'll hopefully have better answers after all the tests that we did last week on her. So we'll see. Thank you for asking. So nice. So nice, Jim. Jim put in $4,290 to make $9,878. Thanks, Brenda. I appreciate that very, very, very much. Excellent, excellent. So, folks, listen, it isn't brain surgery. It really comes down to finding the right setup. And if this is not you, if this is not your strategy, then pick your strategy. Right here, I will give you an example. I'm gonna have to open this up a little bit. It's a little too narrow there for me. Can't see. I can't see. I can't see. Oh, let's go back to a daily chart. All right, so, and it's going to take a half a second on these to each of them to produce a current candle, right? But this is my fibs list, okay? These are my fibs list. It's from my Monster Market Movers class a couple of weeks ago, right? So here, what are we looking at? We got Agilent, right? We got ADP, and nothing there. Okay, so let's see what happens here. Beautiful. So Airbnb is a switchback trade. What is a switchback trade? Switchback trade is a trade that aligns itself at a level, a key level. For me, it would be Fibonacci. For you, it could be support, resistance. You could look at it at a Bollinger Band. You could look at it from a moving average. I like it to be at a key level of a fib. That's where I want to see it. I don't care which fib. I just care that it's a fib, right? And it has opportunity to move in both directions, right? You go ahead and you identify a series of these candidates every single day, 2, 3, 5 of them on your list. How long does it take to go through 150 candidates every day? 20 minutes, right? Because what am I doing? Right now, I've got my real-time data on, right? I'm going to shut it off for a second just so I can make this happen a little bit quicker, okay? So I would put a check mark in there, right? And watch, this is me now. Nope, let me get rid of this. Just move that mouse out of the way. Okay, so I'm just looking for something that is near a level. Oh, that looks like it's near a level. Okay, I'm gonna hit the space bar. Move on. That's not, nope. It is, but it really only has room to the downside for AMAT. MGen, maybe, nothing there. Oh, actually, well, I mean, I got one direction on this one. AN, I can move to the upside. I can't really move down, right? That's up a little bit too high. That's right at the key level. I can move up to 115.5 on the upside to 109 on the downside. Yeah, let's mark that one up. Okay, see what I'm doing here? That's how fast or how long it's going to take you to make the analysis of yes or no. See, it's in the middle. It's not at a fib line. Next. It's in the middle. It's in the middle. It's in the middle. It's in the middle. Nope. 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 See, I like it. Cephalon. Celsius. Right? That's how hard it is to find these candidates as potential trades. Now, of course, there's more to it than just identifying the candidate, right? If any of you took my Key to Be Free training, I used a phrase that we've got, focus on the big E, right? And that's entry. We've got to make sure we have the right entry, right? And there are rules. We're looking for the breakout, the retest, and the bounce, just like United Healthcare today. All right? It's the exact same move that we're looking for. None of this is rocket science. None of this is, thank goodness you did not need to be a brainiac in school to learn this, or I never, ever would have picked any of this up. Never. It's not me. Guys, I knew I was destined for great things in life. And whatever they are, they were pre-planned for me a long time ago, right? But I knew it wasn't meant for mediocrity, and I surely knew it wasn't meant to fail at anything that I do, right? So trading is just a matter of identifying a pattern that fits your risk profile. In other words, you did not take this trade. You go off to La La Land tonight and you are freaking out as you're sleeping or trying to sleep because you can't sleep because you're petrified of that trade going against you tomorrow morning when you wake up. So that's not a trade for you, right? If you can't sleep while in that trade, then you probably don't want to do it. Hey, I'm trying to make 20 cents, but I could lose $200,000. Probably not the trade you want to take. Right? That may not be a good risk profile for most people. Some of you might be good, but most of you may not. Right? Oh, goodness. So Jim said, the free market intelligence report that comes out on the weekends help considerably in trading. Traders should sign up for this email. Yeah, Jim, I agree. I mean, this is just an amazing report. It's our highest open email of everything that we have in the company. Nothing gets opened as much as that does. I mean, you can add up all of our subscriptions together. They're not opened as much as this email gets opened, right? And we're adding to it. We're writing now educational topics every week. We're going to start inserting an educational topic in there also. So that Traders Market Intelligence Report it's a start. It was our first draft at it. We've started on, I don't want to say phase 2 is done because we're at like phase 1.5, 1.5. But folks, take advantage of that free report. Right? It's every Sunday you'll get an email that says right around noon Eastern, the Traders Market Intelligence Report is out. Click on it, it'll take you to a website. So you don't have links on there to what's coming up in the market, the classes we have. There's no links in an email, which just winds up in spam. This is zero spam in it. The way that we've developed it, our email sender tells us that there's nothing spammy looking about it. And then go click on the link. It'll take you to the members area, on the website. It'll take you to the area where it is, wealthbuildershq.com/newsletter, right? And that's where it's housed. That's where it lives. Every week, it's the same place. You could bookmark it. And here, it comes out on Sunday. To you, it does. Friday is when we get the video published. So go check it out on Friday. You don't have to wait till Sunday. It's on YouTube. It's on that same page. You can find it there. I saw a few people had watched it on Friday. Okay. Beautiful. There you go. Lee just dropped that link in. Thank you for that, Lee. I appreciate it. And there it is. Right? So this is the video I do every week on the SPX. Right? Every week we do a video and put it up there. Now, there has been occasion that Sean, who does the video part of it for me, production, all of that, is out of the office. He doesn't get it done until Saturday, but it's there by the time we get to a Sunday class. You know what's coming up, some social stuff. Here is our class schedule, right? Here's some free trainings coming up, Trading Coaches Playbook, right? Earnings that are coming up, economic reports, right? And so forth. Those are big. Economic reports right now are huge. Why? Because this week, FOMC. Wednesday, FOMC. You got ADP's non-farm payroll on Wednesday, PMI, Purchasing Manager Index, which is also on Wednesday, and then FOMC. Right? We're going to talk Fed in just a moment, so I don't really want to let the cat out of the bag as far as that goes yet. But the Fed is not dead. It's still critical. There you go. Jim said, before you ask, the Fed raising a quarter point at 90% for Wednesday. This morning it was 86, so it's gone up. So 90% chance of 1/4 point hike on Wednesday. For June 14th, there's a 35% chance of a 1/4 point increase, and 59% no increase for June 14th. So, yeah, we're a little bit further away. And here's what the market's waiting to see, right? Many of you know this already, but they're looking at the forward-looking statement. What is Powell going to say? What is he going to say about the economy? What is he going to say about continuing? What is he going to say about slowdown? Those are going to be critical components for the market to digest before making a decision on whether or not we believe the market's going to have another increase in that. The second failure, or third failure, I guess it was, but FRC that went down this morning, right, over the weekend, was bought by JP Morgan. JP Morgan was a candidate on our list today, right? So if we go to JPM, FRC was what? $120, $120 in February, and $1.53, I think it was today. All right. It's like, what? Yes. Yes. Crazy. Right? Absolutely crazy. What am I looking for there? All right. Let me just get my data started up there again. Connecting. Karen said the news seemed positive. Your okay, your thoughts. Yes, it was. And there's a reason for it. The government did not want JP Morgan to become bigger than they are. JP Morgan just landed a massive amount of real estate, a huge chunk of their business they added to with this. And they did it to bail out the bank. So they got away without having to go through all of this scrutiny of, hey, Congress or whomever, are you approving us to merge or buy this company out? They didn't have to go through any of that. Banking said, yes, we need this fixed. We can't let them default. Buy them. So it bypassed all of it. Now, that doesn't mean someone doesn't come back from the government and say, yeah, you're too big. You got to start selling some stuff off. Maybe. But for right now, no. So they picked up a lot of benefit there. And again, there'll be some cost cutting, right? Because they'll merge systems together and so forth, corporate offices and things like that. But so it definitely was a positive bit of news, right? We looked at this one as a credit spread today, below 138. So down here below that fib right there, right? It opened up about 141, 142. Somewhere in there, okay? Excuse me. Okay, so let's see if I missed anything else. Leslie said, don't know about JP Morgan, but Chase is among the most disreputable in the business. Yeah, and I don't deal with them. I did. When my dad passed, he had a mortgage with them, which I paid off almost immediately. Once we settled his estate, I just paid everything off. It was just in 3 months of having to send mortgage payments, I'm like, I'm done. I'm not doing this. Just give me a bottom line. Let me pay it all off, and we're done. And we paid off in a few months just to get out of I didn't want to have to deal with it with them. They were okay when I dealt with them, but that's really my only interaction with them at all is there. We don't have credit cards with them or anything like that. So I don't know them as a business, but are there some businesses that are less reputable than others? Yeah. Are there some employees that are just bad employees? Yeah, you get that sometimes too, right? You get that sometimes too. Okay. So let me take us back into the document. And then here we go. The topic for this week is fed up with the Fed yet? Are you fed up with the Fed yet? Highest increase ever from a single Fed in this period of time. We've never had anything like this before. It doesn't seem to be working. So we're not keeping up with the times that as markets shift, and a lot has shifted because of COVID. A tremendous amount has shifted because of COVID, right? When it comes to unemployment and, well, let's not even go there yet. When it comes to the amount of people that are putting money into the market now, right? People stopped working. They started trading the market, whether it was crypto or options or buying stock, whatever it was, they were in the market, right? It became a massive industry overnight. The Weebles and Rocket and Coinbase, yes, but some Robinhood, some of these types of brokerage firms, man, these guys skyrocketed. At one point early on in COVID, they said that Robinhood had more accounts than TD Ameritrade did. What? This Ameritrade. How do they have more accounts? Now, not more money. A lot of those accounts probably had $5, right? Because they're open up to trade crypto. They watched some 13-year-old kid on a video on YouTube that said, you can trade crypto with only $5 in your account. And you can, you just can't make any money at it. But sure you can, right? So when you look at what's happened with the Fed so far, the expectations, and there's a lot of speculation around it. Oh, I love the people that are definitive. We are definitely going to see rate cuts by the third quarter. Yeah, we're going to raise in June. I believe we are. So by August, September, we're going to start seeing cuts already. Then if we did do another rate hike, even this one now wouldn't be warranted if they were looking to cut at that point, right? I don't think we're there. We've seen some big numbers for unemployment, and we're seeing some lashback because of it. And what I mean by that is, was it Uber? Guys, help me out. I think it was Uber that this week, just today, had said they laid 1,000 people off. I think it was Uber. Can anybody confirm that with me? Pretty sure it's Uber. And the back end of that story was after they laid everybody off, they told everybody else, get back to the office. There's no more work at home. Lyft. Thank you. Thank you, Mike. It was Mike said that. It is Lyft. I was on the right ballpark, right? Get back to the office. So I think you're going to see some of this hardball being played too, because even though they laid off 1,000 and 200 people decide to fight them and they had to lay 200 more off, they're probably okay. And even if they weren't, they could hire back 200 people who would be happy to get their job back, right? So I don't know if we're ready to see cuts that quick. I don't think the housing market has truly hit yet. And look, Charlie Munger came out today and said commercial real estate, we're expecting a serious problem in commercial real estate in this year, right? I think he said it was this year, but it's coming in commercial real estate, right? I don't think residential is that far off. I think there are residential properties that are going to do well. Higher end homes are going to do well. I'm not looking to take a mortgage out for a $40 million home. I probably got the cash, right? Hey, can I get a mortgage? Sure. What are you putting down? Well, I got $800 to put down. So what's my mortgage look like? $92,000 a month, right? Higher end homes, I think, will hold up a little bit better. I know in the city, New York City, some of them are. My sister-in-law's dad is a building supervisor. He's in charge of all construction and maintenance, all of that. And he knows how many apartments are available, how many are up for sale, and if someone's trying to rent them. And he said, listen, Rob, we saw them a couple of weeks ago. He said, we're just not seeing it in our building. We are not seeing a lot of people moving out. So that's good. It is New York City. We are definitely seeing people move out, for sure. They're moving to Florida, which is where we want to go to get the butts out of New York. So I don't know what the Fed's going to do. My opinion says we raise a quarter this month. We raise a quarter next month. And they probably, and I can't say definitively, probably pause after that. Does that mean we're going back down in our rates? No, I don't think so. Not yet. I think we're going to stay here for a little while. I don't think that we haven't seen a capitulation. We haven't seen any of that happen. So we have not seen the unemployment rate tick up the way the Fed is looking for. You may have had slightly bigger numbers at times, but not what the Fed wants, not what they need to see for their motto or model of how they believe this is supposed to work. I think that they are behind the times a little bit with how they're doing this. We've got to wait for 9 months of data before, well, that's great. But at that point, they just robbed your ship, your gold, they left you with nothing more than a captain's hat and a half broken oar. Everything else is gone, right? They're waiting too long, I think, to react or to determine, yes, this is a recession, or yes, this is a bear market, or I think it's too much. The other problem is we no longer have a market. We no longer have a market. The S&P is a much different market than NASDAQ is. You've got to focus on both of them, and they're focused on what the big markets are doing, not the NASDAQ, which has got some of the major money in it, right? Jim said commercial real estate. I have heard that as well. That is expected. So it should not scare the market much. True, until it happens. then the reality hits in. But you're right. Tripp said we are in an economic environment never seen before. Economists don't even have models for what is going on with inflation and large retirement of baby boomers. And there lies the next problem, right? All these people leaving the workforce at once, right? Now, good for some, bad for others. What do I mean by that? You got a guy that's in a job and he's a union worker, let's say. Nothing wrong with union workers, but I can't let that guy go based on salary. I can't look at that and say, I've got to cut costs. I'm sorry, but it's too expensive. I have to let you go. And he's making, I'm going to make up a number, $80 an hour. Okay. Well, now you have someone new that could do that job with 2 or 5 years experience that makes $35 an hour. I could hire 2.5 of him to make up for that other person. Now that's dollars and cents. It's not experience. It's not skill set. It's none of that. It's not maturity. It's not understanding the company. It's bottom line is we need to be able to keep the doors open, right? So big component of it. So you're spot on, Tripp. So some of you know, I'm in my own mastermind groups, 2 of them that I belong to. One of them, we've got a gentleman in there we call the economist. Absolutely brilliant when it comes to things happening in the economy and stuff like that. I can't even spew off half of the things that he says. I sit there and look at him and just go, I'm speechless, okay? But you listen to the pieces I catch of what he's talking about in there, or what he's getting at in there, and according to what we're seeing, we're not done. We're not done yet. The Fed, and when I say we're not done, the market has not made a decision of, yes, we're done going down. There's still a few more pieces to fall, which could tip the market one direction or another, expected from what I'm hearing anyway, could be dead wrong, to the downside. Yeah, Karen said Congress puts us in the pot even more. Yep, sure do. We're in a world we've never seen before. That is true, Brenda. Tripp said, and there are 2.5 of them to get, 2.5 of them to get, not 2 point. Wait, what? What I miss? Oh, not 2.5 available to hire, 2.5 to get. Oh, I got it, Tripp. So yeah, there's 2.5 people available for every job that's out there, but not to get. That's the number that's out there, but a lot of them don't want the jobs, and that's without a doubt, right? I see it more and more where people are not working, and I mean, I've offered one a job, and it was no, but you're not working. Yeah, it's okay. I don't want to work. Oh, okay, okay. My mom has a very good friend of hers. Her daughter, who's a little bit younger than I am, she's lived with her mom now for 20 years. You know, had moved back in with her mom, helped take care of her. She hasn't worked a job since she came back to live with her mom. Right? Yeah, so she's available, but she's not going to get hired anywhere. It's not going to happen. Okay. Beautiful. All right. So what stocks do you want to look at? Drop the candidates in. Let's go check those out. Jim said 12:31 p.m. SPX rocketed through the 4181, already closed above this on a 5-minute chart at 11 a.m. today. Oops. Sorry, everything's moving with the symbols you're dropping in, but failed to hold that for the next 30 minutes. So let's go take a quick look at SPX. Yep, so pushed right up into it. Right. Next, if we get above that on a close, if we stayed right where we are, then 41.95.44 is next on the upside. And I appreciate that update there, Jim. Charles said one of the biggest reasons it has maintained this long is there was a lot of money in savings. Once that's depleted, then we'll see. Well, and we're hearing about it already. Super massively high credit card debt right now. Right? We're hearing stories of banks saying, well, yeah, we're not quite going to lend as aggressively as we were, so we're going to hold back a little. My mom got a call from a credit card company that said, you're really not using your credit card much, so we're going to cut your credit limit down. They don't want that credit card out there as the, ooh, I can use this in case I get in trouble, so it's slice it back, right? So there's a lot of little things like that out there to be considering. So it's a very valid point there, Charles. Very valid point. All right. Hey, Roman, how you doing? Whoops. Yeah, even the new immigrants who come over to the U.S. Don't want to work. Lazy generation. Yeah, well, that is for sure. Wait, what did I say? Oh, okay. Valid point, Jim. Good. Jim said, I said in this morning's market mornings that I took out the 41.69.48 and I would talk about the why here. So I'm glad you reminded me, Jim. So we had a line drawn. It was a swing high drawn off of right here. 41.69.48, right off of that candle. And we had a high come up higher than that, yes, Friday. Right? It's barely above that line right here, but we got a higher high. So I don't need that swing high in there any longer because we have a new high. But here's the problem. A swing high requires a certain pattern, right? It requires a high, doesn't matter where the body is or not. It has a higher high, and then it has a lower high. Okay? High, higher high, lower high. This makes this candle right here a swing high candle. Right? That's our swing high. We don't have that yet. We have a high. Well, actually, we had a high, another high, a higher high. We now have a higher high, but I don't have a lower high yet. So I can't identify anything as a swing high candle. So that wick, or that line rather, Jim, wasn't needed any longer because I've already violated that swing high that we were looking for. So I don't need to have a line drawn at that point anymore. Does that make sense, Jim? Good, good. Roman said, I was working 2 jobs and continuing school and was the happiest guy. I got it. I got it. Not what we see happening out there today, but I'm with you, Roman. I am with you. All right. So let's see what we've got here. Karen, you were up first. You had big airplane. Let me go ahead and switch over to a different list here so I could see all symbols. Big airplane, Boeing. BA. All right. So we're caught in a muck of sideways move right now, Karen, for about the last 3 weeks. We just had earnings come out, didn't produce anything, gapped up, ran, failed, closed on the low of the day, near the low of the day. So we've been in this sideways motion there. I want to see this do one of 2 things, Karen: break the 210 or break the 203.5 level. Once it does that, we can make a determination of direction. But right now, while we're in this sideways pattern, I'm going to step back and watch it. Position 1 in the chair. Hope that helps. Let me know. Brenda's asking for Amazon. All right. So, and they're down. Oh, yet again. Right. So, Brenda, we have got a bounce potential up to 104.89, but not much, or a drop to the downside to 150. 100. I'm not worried about the 55 moving average. So we've got a drop potential down to about $100 there, and we're at 103 right now. So there's a lot of opportunity downward on Amazon. So I like that one a lot. Tesla was setting up earlier, right, for a fail. It had closed up, it gapped down, it broke the 162.07, retested, and dropped. Gotta have to change it here too. Okay, so it had dropped, it pushed up, and failed off of that fill line. All right, and wow, what a I cannot wait till I actually have some time that I can go ahead and put together this new training we're going to do. I'm going to teach on it first in Inner Circle Mastermind Group. It's called micro day trading. Then you'll see something come out on it. After that, we'll start putting some trainings together on it across the board. But today was a phenomenal micro day trading setup. Phenomenal. Just amazing. But right now, again, we're in 5-minute candle. If I go back to the daily on Tesla, I am looking at that push up and the fail. We've got a drop opportunity down to 150.5, but I'd be looking more at that 153, which puts us $8 or $10 from where we are now. All right, so I hope that one is good. And then one more for Brenda, SPY. All right, strong push on the upside. 418.31 is our topping pattern there we're looking at, that 418.31. Here's the thing, Brenda, we've got nothing to work off of. There are no lines, there's no moving averages. I have nothing there that says we should take this. I have no history. I could make it up and say we pulled back to this. You know, we gapped right to that point, and we pulled back, and we'll use that as a line. Well, I guess, but I guess is probably the word. Guess. I don't know. I don't have an answer to it. I don't have a yay or nay for that. So I would stay away from it. But break out above that, the 0 line up here, or hit it and fail, and we're looking at 413 as the downside target. All right. So, Brenda, I hope that helps. Let me know down in the comments below. All right. Just make sure I'm not missing anything. Yeah, Brennan, we were looking at the 5 minute, the fibs were there. It was just the one fib line we were looking at there. Okay. RH is asking for COMM. So CommScope Holding. I don't know who they are, what they do. So a tougher one for me to look at there, right? All right, this is a tougher one for me. Low price stocks like this are very complicated for me to work with. It's in a downward tear. At best, I could make $5 on the downside. We're not anywhere near an upside move on it yet. If we get above the 8 and the 21, the pink and the green line, and the pink has crossed above the 21, then we can consider an aggressive trade, smaller number of contracts. The way we do aggressive is we take 4. That's an aggressive trade. That doesn't mean that's how you do aggressive. For most, it's probably 1, right? 1 contract. So it's just, if I draw fibs on it, I just don't get a lot of movement opportunity. Even if I took this big move here, you know, we're looking at a distance of 657 to 707. So by the time we bounce off that 50 percentile line and get up to 675, we're going to get out at, I don't know, 690, 685. I mean, you got 10, 15 cents maybe that you're going to pick up. And oh, that's on the stock. If you try buying the options, if they're available, I don't know. It just makes it a little bit harder. So not that there's anything wrong with that lower price stock. It's just not the venue that I live in. You know, here we've got a stock you could buy for $5, right? If I go and look at Roku, and I'm going to bring the option chain over. I'm just waiting for it to reset. If I go and bring Roku over, right? So I want to trade Roku today. Right? And Roku is up right now 19 cents. Right? But there's a lot more focus to the downside than there is the upside right now. Okay, at least so far intraday today. All right. But let's say I think that it's going to bounce. Right? I've got this $55 option. It is theoretically it's around 233. It's trading at 243, so it's fairly valued. 126 volume, 142 already of open interest. So we've got enough to trade this one, and I can do this trade on this $56 stock. I can do this trade for $2.43. So I could trade twice as much of this, which moves a couple of dollars a day, $2 or $3 a day, versus COMM, which moves about 30 cents a day. Once again, I'm not trying to rain on anybody's parade. Never do it. If you've got a strategy that works for you and the system works, that is awesome. You trade it, man. I don't care if just because I can't make it work, that doesn't mean others can't. Okay. For me, I would rather trade the options on a higher price stock, get a bigger movement, put less money in the trade, than trade the stock. And I would be very cautious shorting it again because there's very little to go down. I hope that helps, RH. Let me know down below. Roby's asking for TZA. All right. First thing we need to do is an analysis of what's going on. All right. So we're looking for the largest directional move closest to the right side of the chart. That would be this one right here. Okay, we look at the distance between the 618 and the 50. It's about $2.50. That's good. Do we need Fibbits in here? 26.5 to 31.5, $5. We do. We need to split the levels in half. So we need a negative 136 and a 118. Perfect. So now let's bring this in. All right. So Roby, we pushed down today a little bit further. We were in a bullish neutral bias on Friday. Right, Friday's closed. We pushed down today into now neutral bias. We stretched down to the 31.79. If we can get a move back above the 32.93, I'd look for the 34.93 as resistance. That's your first target right now. We have been here before. All right, so we've been there before. This is almost $1 in there. So the opportunity to move up is possible, but I'd like to see it close on a higher. In other words, get above that 8 moving average first. All right, hope that helps, Roby. Let me know. RH is also asking for JetBlue. JetBlue. All right, JetBlue. So, all right. So one of the things, RH, I do like about the pattern here is we're in this sideways pattern. And what most individuals do is they mark out support and resistance. They mark out support and resistance, top and bottom, right? And we want to see as many hits as we can get in there. Okay, that is a standard channel, right? RH, that's a standard channel. Now I'm going to delete that channel. And now let me draw my channel. All right. So the channel itself, you'll notice I drew the blue lines, right? If I get rid of that and do it again, watch. I'm only drawing these 2 blue lines in there. That's it. I am controlling that lower blue line. That's it. The upper blue line, I snapped in there. I'll adjust it because I'm off a little bit. Right? But that's where I am. Every other line was drawn in there automatically, and there's a reason for it. So if we get a breakout, RH to the upside as an example, if we break out of that 719 retest and bounce, 742 and 764 is resistance. I now have targets built right in on here, and it's all based on an A, B, C, A plus B equals C, right? Or A to B equals C, right? No, I'm sorry, it's A, B, so A to B equals C to D. So here is my A, here is my B. If we break out of here, this becomes C, and then this line becomes my D. So my distance from here to here becomes the same distance as here to here. Okay? So this is an amazing channeling strategy when you learn this, right? So if we could break the 719, 742 is the first place I see it hesitating. I hope that helps, RH. Let me know down below. Cool, Roby. Thank you for that. Love what you're doing here. Excellent. I'm glad you connected back again, Roby. All right. We'll keep going here. We got a lot more in there. All right. Trip has his standard Trip Trio. AMD. All right. Woo! Gap up and fail. All right. So what are we looking for now? Ideally, I'd love to see this one move up and get right at that 90.47-ish level. Trip, and if we get to that 90.47 level, does anybody know the type of trade we're going to look to do? If we get on a close, we close about where it is now. Doesn't have to be right 90.47, right about where it is now. What kind of trade would we look to do? I got to scroll down and get them, so hold on a sec. Yep, switchback, baby. We would look to do that switchback trade, right? Where if it closed right about where it is, it could move up to 90.47 and fail. We've got a nice confluence of the 8 and the fib line. Or if it broke out, retest and bounce, we have a confluence of the 21. And 93.29 is resistance. So 93, 92 and a half, 92 and 3/4, somewhere around there is going to be my target for that. Okay. So I like AMD, Trip. That's how I would trade it. Itty bitty machine, IBM. All right, older fib from October. 126, 125. I don't have a lot of room, Trip. 125 is my next support. I need to be out of it about 125 and 3/4. It's at 126 and a half. We're in the middle. So I needed to break that 125 or break the 128. Then we can consider something else for a retest. And then we've got Micron. MU, Micron. That doesn't look like Micron. That's a mo better. In the infamous words of my shop teacher, Mr. Schwartz, that's a mo better. May the Schwartz be with you. So he was metal shop, wood shop, amazing teacher. Taught me a lot of what I know when it comes to woodworking. We're kind of in the middle, Trip. I like where it's at. Give me back to the 62 with 64 and a half as resistance. Confluence of the 8 there. I like it a lot. All right, hope that helps. Let's see. Trader Will's asking for CF. All right, so it doesn't work well as a switchback because we don't have a lot of room to the upside, but it works well on this rollover. So that 71.58 will is a great setup. You know, look for that move down to 65.08, 68.05, sorry. And we've already been at 68 and 3/4. So that's where I would target first. I like it a lot. CF. Thank you, Will. Will is in our inner circle, a highest level coaching program. As is Trip and many others that are in here. And then D-Dog. I need to expose the fib. It's hidden back there. Very old. It's not going to be great. Okay. 66 to 79. Oh, heck yeah, we need fibbits in there. Negative 136. Let's put in a 118. Am I missing it? There we go. 118. All right, close enough. All right, so Will, I like D-Dog on the fail, the retest, and the drop down to about 59, maybe 60. But Will, you got to watch right here about 62.5. No official line. Well, is there an official line there? 59 to 66 gives me 7.5. We've got a fib of 7. So yes, we actually need to split that level in half one more time. That 62.80 level, Will, is our next target. So fail, retest, drop. If you're in about 66, 65.5, you're out at about 63.25 or half. Very nice setup. I like it a lot. I hope that helped, Will. Trip, you're welcome. Can't we fib small? Yeah, well, you can start playing with the fibs a little bit closer to it. We're getting to a point where we don't have a great structure on here. Let me see. You know, I mean, we could draw off of here. There's just a different, well, I mean, we got $3. I guess it's not horrible between the 50 and the 618. 63 and 70. I still need to split the level on it. Well, yeah, we're right at the edge of splitting it. Yeah, the fib is too large. Well, absolutely. From our redraw rules, the fib is definitely too large. Yes, without a doubt. Yep, was. So that's where I would be putting it, Will, from there, is right here. Let's see. Karen's asking for Costco. We already did Boeing. I don't remember if we did Costco. They got earnings coming up in a couple of weeks. Break the 493 or break the 500. Either one, Karen. I'm waiting for it to do one of those first before I take that trade. CMG, Chipotle Mexican Grill, who has been an absolute insaniac. From 1,700 in jingle up to 2,000. It's had a 300-point move, right? Skyrocketed in price from their earnings. Earnings are right here. Right at that 1776, that Freedom Day that had broke out. Pull back to the 2033 and bounce would be what I'd be looking for first. And it looks like 2105 is resistance. Oof. Yowza. All right. So, folks, there you have it. I'm going to leave the room open a couple of minutes. Grab those links. Lee's going to drop in the link again for you to get into Tony's training. Do not miss out on this. Do not pass go. Do not collect $200. Get it done now. Go and set up with the Pattern Whisperer and let him teach you exactly what it takes to become a phenomenal trader, right? When it comes to pattern recognition. So with that, make it a profitable day. Stay focused on the quest to becoming a great trader. Keep crushing it. And remember, you're just one trade away. Take care, everybody. I will see you on our next one. Bye for now.